All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Frantic Talks podcast, episode number 31. I am your host, Frantic, along with my lovely co-host, as always.
Grunt.
We are here to talk about video games
And junk.
and junk, of course. So, hope you had a fun week, Grunt. It's been an interesting week in games, I can say.
Definitely
Really
has
just one topic in general that we're going to talk about here, but let's start this off, as usual, with some junk. How was your week?
been. It's pretty good, actually. It's been quiet.
Gotcha.
I finally managed to write an article for us. Yay!
Woo! Yeah.
So we'll be seeing that sometime soon.
And even better, it kind of relates to our topic today, so it's
It
kind of fun
does.
for those interested in more.
It does indeed.
Well, good.
In terms of gaming stuff, I managed to beat Battleborn last night, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, tell the people how you thought that
Um,
went.
Overall, I like the game. It's very fun. Why is Cortana listening? No, stop. Yay, Windows 10. I like the game. It's fun. I was a little disappointed by how the final boss battle of the game was handled. So I'm going to go into little detail here. So heads up, this might be spoiler territory for you. Just fast forward a minute or two. Basically, what they had you do was you had the main evil villain of the game, and you fought him for like 5-10 minutes maybe, and he disappeared and just decided to summon like alternate dimension reality thing whatever of two bosses that you fought earlier in the game. And basically it's just they decided to recycle a couple bosses. It was the same tactics and everything. The one you had he had these like minions that shielded him. You had to kill them before you could do damage to him. And really, I'm just like, really? That's it? That
Sounds lame.
Yeah. And then once you killed them, you could go back to fighting him. And it's like, oh, that's it?
Kind of reminds me of if you ever played Batman Arkham Asylum, how at the end the Joker turns into this big old Titan thing that you've been fighting in the previous games, or not in the previous games, but in the previous like bits of the game. And it was literally just a fight against that, but with a couple extra things added in. It wasn't very different. So in a way, it was kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt about this boss battle, too. So, overall, I like the game. I would recommend it, especially since now you could probably get it for like 30, 20, $30 now.
Which is a shame, considering it came out a month ago. Well,
Right.
2 months at this point.
Right. A few other minor nitpicks about it was in terms of the overall storyline, you don't know, other than you're trying to, save the universe basically.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't know why you're fighting everything.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do much explaining to it. And they have one character that they introduced recently with the season pass for the game, and it's not exclusively for that, but the only way you can unlock that character if you don't have the season pass is to play the game and earn like 47,000 credits, I think it was. Maybe like close to like 50,000 credits, basically.
Oh, jeez.
And throughout my time playing the game, through all of the 8 missions and a few multiplayer matches, it's pretty much, I only have like 4,000 credits, so it's a super grind.
That's a very big grind, it sounds like.
Yeah. So,
Jeez.
but overall, that's how my week went.
Nice.
Finishing games in my backlog.
Gotcha. Well,
Games.
I have a lot of stuff getting into my backlog at this point. I kind of tweeted where I was just like, man, I really haven't even really played a game in a while. I mean, in the sense of something new or something relative.
Right.
Just because I've been playing, like last night and the night before, I played a bunch of Rock Band, which I wouldn't count, because it's just Rock Band. But
Rock
the only
Band?
other game huh?
Rock Band counts.
I mean, I guess, but other games include like Super Smash Brothers, where it's like this is, I don't know. Sure, it's playing games and enjoying them, but at the same time, it's like, for how much we talk about them and newer stuff, I haven't really played much of the new stuff.
Yeah.
Which,
I played a little bit of Halo 5 the other day. That's kind of fun, but
I mean, how much has changed? Because I haven't been on it in a little while.
I don't know. I played mostly Griffball with a couple friends of ours.
Mm,
Um,
gotcha.
And I'm still have my issues with that, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. I played like one game of normal, like Slayer, I think it was. No, it was actually Warzone, and we got our butts handed to us by the other team.
Yeah,
So,
that's the one thing I never enjoyed about like the regular Warzone game mode was where it's really hard to come back if you start losing pretty quickly,
oh yeah,
and then you just have to take the next like 20 minutes to play the game, even though you're losing no matter what. So,
right.
whatever. It is what it is. But I really haven't been playing too much. I've been playing Magic. I typically do that at least once a week, and then kind of just watching some TV shows and stuff. I was catching up on Daredevil season 2. Uh, the main bulk of what I've been doing the past couple weeks is taking my girlfriend through. Emily was on the last episode, taking her through Harry Potter because she hadn't seen it before. So we marathoned through that in the past like 2 weeks, essentially, which was fun. It was fun to really go back and watch those again. I've seen like the first 4 a couple times, and then the last 4 I saw only once or twice at most on each one.
Mm.
So it was fun to like kind of like remember everything that I kind of already knew because I'd read the books and seen the movies. But it's like, oh yeah, all these things happened. Woo!
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty great, I think. Um, and then yesterday I went to a Reds game, which is why this is happening today on Sunday. If you are listening live, that's just if you know who Pete Rose is, he was getting inducted to the Reds Hall of Fame. If you don't know who he is, he's pretty good, and he was held out of it because of gambling, and they were just like, "Yep, that's a dumb reason. He's got a lot of records. We should probably let him in." Oh,
Nah.
there's more politics and stuff to it, but I could talk for ages about that, and I'm not going to because this isn't about sports. But I do have my red shirt on to represent, ha ha ha. Even though we suck, oh, so badly. Anyways, so I mean that was my week, just watching movies, TV, and then a little bit of Magic and Rock Band, and that pretty much was what got me to today.
One question:
Yes.
what's the name of your band and rock band?
So it's not my rock band; it's a friend's,
You're part of it. It's
and
technically your rock band, so semantics.
yeah. I think the name is 369 Wigwam. In reference to the Fallout song where on the radio on Diamond City Radio where he's talking about I want her in my wigwam, atom bomb baby, atom bomb. Because when we first played the game, I was constantly singing that, and my buddy thought it was funny enough to name the band after it.
That is great.
So yeah, that's our band name, and we're all dressed in like Vault Dweller outfits because you can get those. So
That is great.
that's fun. All right. Anyway, so we got some fun stuff to talk about today. I guess fun might not be the most appropriate term, but
Well, fun
to
for
put
some.
it, yeah, fun for some. First, we're going to cover a couple of news items that are not necessarily pertaining to the topic at hand, which we haven't actually said yet, even though it'll be in the title of the episode. I always love keeping anybody watching live in suspense, but if you don't watch it live, you will have zero suspense. You'll know it's coming. But anyways, first thing up is just the Bungie. I have the weekly update for Bungie up here, but it's for Destiny. That it might have been said at E3. I don't remember, but I wanted to reiterate just because I talked to a friend about it who really enjoys Destiny that plays on PlayStation, and for some reason I have my wallet in my hand and I'm talking with it. I'm sorry. I just picked it up and was like, here, I have a prop now. No, they're not going to be supporting PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 for the Rise of Iron expansion.
Yep.
So when I asked my friend about this, he was like, finally it's happening. And I'm just like, what do you mean finally? They're technically narrowing their player base. And he's like, no, this is what held them back. They had to have a separate team dedicated to making the last gen consoles, working with it, and this will allow us to do much more in terms of Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And I think I agree with him. It's kind of sucks that you have to get rid of the backwards compatibility, quote unquote, per se.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine what having a separate dev team that was working on something that was legacy coming into the team and being able to do whatever miscellaneous task it is, how that could benefit. Maybe this means we get better graphical fidelity. Maybe we get an upgraded graphics system on the game. Probably a really big patch download that would be, but maybe we get better graphics now that we can support just new gen consoles, and maybe we get much more in-depth features than what a lot of people wished we had. People are wishing we have so much more in depth, but we can only hit so much.
Well, the big topic: more vault space.
Yeah, that's another one. There's actually, I think it's basically seemingly infinite vault space, which apparently a limitation of the older system was the vault space. So for those of you
Yeah.
that just didn't quite understand why we couldn't have infinite vault space, uh, that's apparently the reason. I find
Yeah.
that really weird.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see how it's going to. As it's been said before, and all of that on here. I'm a huge fan of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly
As am I.
slightly biased in that due to recent events, but whatever.
It's okay.
Um, but I'm interested to see what they do with the game going forward from there.
Yeah.
It sucks because, like you said, they're narrowing their player base, but don't
I don't think it's by that much.
I don't think so. No.
No, if they are, it's negligible,
Right.
and not in the way that there's like maybe 10 people playing, but it's like this could be what's holding people on the older systems, and maybe they need to come to the new ones, or uh, maybe it's kind of a way I think of just saying get with the times.
It's been what? How many years since the PS4 released? And three,
I think it's been 3 years now that new systems have been out.
3 years at least for that. So yeah.
It's 2 or 3, but it's long enough to where it's like people should start getting on board, and maybe they made this decision seeing that their player base on the old gen consoles was much smaller than
Oh, I'm sure that
we
was it.
realized. Like it could just be like 1,000 people, which is entirely negligible in my
Right.
mind.
Yeah.
So
I think it's very safe to assume that the good majority of your players are playing on the new systems now.
yeah. So if you have an Xbox 360 and have been playing Destiny on it, it's time to upgrade. Unfortunately, go out and buy your $300 system and $40 game with the $40 expansions to go with it, and then you can play again. Are you able to transfer characters from 360 to one?
Um, well, the way it works right now is the progress is shared between both the new consoles and the legacy consoles, as they're calling it now.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about having to make new characters or anything.
Yeah. In August, though, they are separating it. So each character now on the 360 and on the Xbox One or the PlayStation side, if that's what you play on,
Mm-hmm.
will be separate from each other. So if you're playing on a 360 now and you continue playing past August, um, your character progression will be different if you're also playing on the Xbox One.
Gotcha.
They will give you the option if they will release more details about it later on, I'm assuming, as to how exactly you do it, but they will give you the option to import your character from legacy consoles to new consoles. So, you know,
Gotcha.
when it comes out. So, I'm assuming, if you.
Basically, they're giving you until the next expansion to get with the new system,
Right,
or else your progress is going to be separated
right,
for the most part.
right.
Okay. Well, you heard it first, guys. You heard it here first. Actually, you probably didn't. You probably heard it here like fifth. But still, you heard it here first. Get your character or get your new Xbox and a copy of Destiny for the Rise of Iron expansion, which comes out in September.
September 20th.
Yeah,
Yes.
but August is when they're going to stop letting you play on both. Well, with the
You can
same
still play
characters.
on both, but your character progress is going to be different on each console
Yeah.
after August.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like you. I mean, essentially, it's just you have to buy the next expansion, or else your progress is halted on the 360. Except there is no next expansion.
Yeah.
The next expansion is $400. So have fun with that purchase if you're still behind on that. And if this is farewell, it's farewell. I'm sorry. All right.
Cool.
Moving on to the next topic. Very quick, very simple. I have the waypoint page up here, but it's really about Warzone Firefight that comes out this Wednesday, finally. I know it's been in like a beta test type mode where they've been like letting us play it at some points and then taking it down, if I remember correctly.
They
how
had
it's
like
work?
a 2-week beta for it.
Right.
Beta, I put in air quotes.
Yeah.
And then
Speaking of betas, I'm really sad I never played Halo Wars 2.
yeah, I couldn't download it for reasons.
Yeah. Grunt's internet's great, by the way.
No. No, it's not.
Oh, anyways. No, anyway, back to the topic on hand is Warzone Firefight will be actually coming out this Wednesday. I think there's a couple of new enemies too, which I don't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, there's like a new boss and a new vehicle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, new boss, new vehicle. The vehicle I believe is called like the Wasp or something like that.
Oh, I think I remember hearing about this.
Um,
I heard
and
that.
yeah, just gonna throw that over there.
Just chuck your phone across the room.
Yeah, pretty much. Um,
I wanna like throw mine into the wall back here and just let it dent in the wall. It just like sticks there for the rest of the podcast. Here, hold on, let me try it. I'm not
episode
gonna do that.
32 is Frantic chucks his phone across the room and just, leaves it there.
Episode 31, hacks.
Yeah. Well, I meant episode 32 is, and you're not going to do it this one. It's going to be
Oh, I'm
next.
gonna do it no, next week. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for me to chuck my phone against the wall and hope it sticks. I'm not promising that's gonna happen. I just want you to show up next time. So,
There you go. Oh,
we could probably keep talking about what we were talking about.
which was Waypoint Firefight? Oh, God.
Waypoint
Warzone
Firefight. I'd do Waypoint Firefight, just like the original Waypoint app that was on like the 360, where you just get like videos and stuff. You just get to run around shooting the videos. I'd do that.
Yeah, I probably would too. The new boss they added is a little terrifying. It's
What is it?
basically a um giant like mech suit, only it's piloted by a grunt.
That's great.
So
I think was this the one you tweeted about where you were like grunts are OP or something like that.
grunts OP, please nerf. Yes,
You heard it here first. Again, grunt is OP.
I am
We gotta nerf you.
indeed.
You get less privileges.
All right,
Oh, that's great. That sounds awesome.
it
Actually,
is.
I really want to
It
play it
looks,
just to fight that.
yeah, it looks cool. Overall, in general, I'm anxious to try out Firefight. I love
Oh,
Firefight. Always have since it was introduced with ODST. So
well, how about this? I want to make this promise on air on the podcast. My Wednesday is open. If this comes out Wednesday, we will play together.
what? You mean it? You really mean it?
I really mean it.
All right
That
then.
way, it's written down in stone via MP3 files. I
All
will
right.
be there.
Works
It'll
for
be
me.
like after your dinner, but still, I'll be there.
Works for me.
Okay, cool. Well, that's what we'll be doing on Wednesday. If you want to join us, I don't know if what is it support 4 people? Like
Actually,
probably.
8, I believe.
Oh well, crap. There we go. We'll just stream it. Like we can do that. I know how to do it.
You
So
had to do
yeah,
it. You had to
huh?
do it. You had to do it to play the game a while ago.
Yeah. At one point, I had to. They fixed that, by the way. I remember. I think I said something about that when it was fixed, but they did fix my issue where I had to stream the game to play it. Oh, that
Right.
was so stupid.
I don't understand that. Your internet provider doesn't recognize the servers, so in order to stop you from lagging, you had to use something that caused to use more of your bandwidth. That makes
Yeah, lucky for me, I have good internet, unlike Grunt. That's the nerf. That's the nerf. You got nerfed by your internet.
oh my god.
Boom. Also, how many teraflops are in a gigahoot?
About 6, eh?
About 6A. Oh, that's still one of my favorite things that's ever been said on this podcast. It was only last episode, so I can't really say too much, but you know. Okay. Enough rambling. All right, we're gonna start talking about stuff that's actually related to our topic at hand that we are gonna be talking about here today for the next 25 minutes or so. So Overwatch is on screen here. Pretty sure there was actually something I wanted to mention before this. Well, yeah, I guess I'll change the topic to this. So the summer sale on Steam is happening right now. If you did not know, this is where everybody loses all their money and gives it to Valve. But
Even though Valve won't give us anything numbered 3.
even though we can't get the number 3, Counter-Strike Go, one of the really big like esport games and one of Valve's best games, I guess is the best way to put it, is not being able to be gifted during the summer sale. You can't like buy it as a gift and then give it to somebody. Now, at first glance, that sounds really weird. You're probably thinking, well, what the hell? Why is that a thing?
Why is
From
it?
what I've been able to read and discover through Reddit comments and articles, is it prevents basically 2 things. First, given as gifts to a bunch of players, the Valve sees that people who give it as a gift don't really stay around and play. Whatever the reason is for that, I don't truly know. I don't know why they would care. But I guess they see it as they bought it on sale and got it and then don't ever play it versus buying it when they want to play it and it wasn't on sale. I don't know. I truly
That,
don't know the reasoning behind it.
that's weird. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
player retention is one thing, but that's a weird reason.
the main thing is more on the ethics side of it, where people will buy a bunch of gifted copies and then resell them, so they can
Oh.
essentially make money off of it.
Mm.
So, if you guessed it yet, today's topic is ethics in gaming in the sense of cheating. This isn't necessarily cheating in the game, but it's kind of cheating the system.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and it's really weird that CSGO is the only one they're turning it off for that. But hey, if you have the idea to go buy Left 4 Dead 2 for free and then sell it, go ahead. They're not going to stop you on that one. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about, and it was in regards to Overwatch, while Overwatch has been cracking down on cheaters, there's a game that we love near and dear so much here on the Frantic Talks podcast that hasn't been cracking down on cheaters, and that game is The Division. And
Just gonna
it's
let that go.
Ubisoft is all but basically given up on that game, sadly. So let's talk about something in relation to Overwatch, though, and that is also another Polygon article. Apparently, we just only read on Polygon.
I
But
mean, I don't know about you, but I do.
17-year-old Zarya is her screen name. She was one of the top Overwatch world players in the world. She had over 80% win rate and like a higher than 6 KD average or some ratio or something like that,
Oh
which is
jeez.
absolutely nuts if you nuts if you ask me. And so some of the better, not better players, some other really like pro players in Overwatch, don't remember their names. They might mention in this article, but I don't care to mention names. I just want to point out that they said this. They said that she was cheating. You know, they were like, "There's no way she's this good," and it was like they said if she was not cheating, like if it turns out we're wrong, we'll quit.
You
So
do that.
so what she did was prove them wrong because she wasn't cheating. And there was a video that was released of her playing, showing there were no hacks or anything going on. I think it was done via live stream. I could be wrong, but there's a video right here on screen. That I'm not going to play it for you, but basically she proves them wrong, and they quit. They kept to their word, which I guess kudos to them for at least keeping to their word. Like, all right, well, we said we'd quit. But this brings up a very interesting topic. Two things I can think of immediately. First and foremost, I don't want to bring this up and then just kind of leave it to dry, but it is something to note. She is a girl. So there is this stereotype in gaming that, oh, girls just aren't good at games. So I don't know if that fueled.
This is definitely one that destroys that stereotype.
Oh yeah, she's absolutely a stereotype defiant. Stereotype defiant, I guess is the best way to put that. I don't know if that's what fueled their reason to say this. I would hope that that is not the reason. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. But that is something that does happen where you see it in Magic actually pretty often. I've read numerous blog posts and like Tumblr posts and Reddit posts of girls who were just like, yeah, so I went to this local F&M. I have this deck that I play a lot that's really good. I've won a bunch of F&Ms with it. F&M being Friday Night Magic. Sorry, guys. I get into the terminology and just forget. Every Friday you can go play Magic at your local game shop, and it's just a quick like 4-round tournament. But I've heard numerous stories of girls where they're just like, yeah, so I'm playing this deck that's like really expensive. I'm really good at playing, and I've won a decent amount of stuff with. And I sit across next to this guy who tries to tell me how to play my deck and who is just like, oh, I'll go easy on you, or something along the lines of getting upset that they lost to a girl, and they specifically state that. It's like, oh, I lost to a girl, not like, oh, I lost because my deck sucks or something like that.
Uh, yeah, if I was one of them, I would, and I was told, oh, go easy on you because you're a girl. Nope. I would do the most underhanded but totally within the rule thing to do to destroy them.
Yeah. And that's typically what they do, but 9 times out of 10, it more than anything, it alienates the women from what I've seen, at least what they write about
Right.
online. They're just like, I feel unwelcome because they just they don't feel like I should be playing because of just my gender. So, not to talk too much about that because I don't think that's what caused this, but it's always there in the back of the mind that could be a reason for them to say, oh, well, a 17-year-old girl is better than me, and I'm like 20-something. Yeah,
Hacking,
right.
obviously.
Hacks, elite hacks. That's not what happened, but always something to think about. The other thing is just her stats in general are just insane. 80% win rate is nuts to me, and yeah, she's played 420 games played, had a win rate of 80%, and then I swear her KD was like over 6. I don't see it in this article necessarily, but I watched a Philip DeFranco video, and he talked about this earlier this week and mentioned that it was over 6. So I'll take his word for it.
That's insane.
Though, yeah, those stats are nuts. Like, so I'll tell a story of a friend I had who played Modern Warfare 2 with me. Well, with me is not necessarily true, but he played. This is back when Modern Warfare 2 was like the biggest thing in the world, obviously. And he boasted a 3 point something KD, and I don't know his win rate. I just know his KD was stupid high because he sent out a message to all his friends. And this was not him to brag about his KD, mind you. He just sends it out and says, "I've decided to quit playing Modern Warfare 2 because I am tired of sacrificing my KD of 3 point whatever to random scrubs who can't win a game."
All right then.
I bring that up not to make fun of him because there's plenty to make fun of there, but basically I shouldn't say that. Like, if he wanted to be a programmer, he was obviously on the right track. It's just he quit for reasons that are nefarious, I guess. Is that the right word?
We'll go with it.
Sure. If it's not, hey, tell me. I love learning words. I'm a logophile, that's a real thing. No, but basically, he had a very good KD, and I'd played against him. He was very good. It's just my friends brought up a very good point. The ones that I hang out with pretty often, the ones I play Rock Band with, and I play Smash Brothers with. They play Overwatch, and they said for someone to carry a team in Overwatch, that's a bold thing to do. It's very hard to do. And I've played Overwatch. I played the beta, and I know that it's not typically the easiest thing. So you got to wonder, is she on a professional team, and that's how she got her great win ratio, which is very possible, or is she just so freaking good that she just blew over everybody, no matter who they are?
I think it's probably more so the latter case. Because it goes back to the same thing. You're not seeing. It goes similar back to what you said similarly earlier. You're not really seeing women on esports teams in general.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So she took it to herself to prove that she could be on one, maybe,
Yeah, possible. Who knows?
So yeah.
But yeah, there's no arguing the fact that I'm sure she's just actually that good at the game.
Oh yeah, she's clearly amazing at this game. and that's what I wanted to talk about a little more is just cheating seems to be, I don't want to say running more rampant now, but it seems to be more in the spotlight than it has previously been.
Right.
With obviously the Division being kind of like, not where it all started, but where it kind of was very obvious that things were starting to be handled very differently. And I think this is something we might have talked about before, but I'm okay talking about it again because it's just still relevant. And that's just, how do you handle this as a development team, as a company, as a community manager? How do you handle this? And there's been numerous different responses, like, of course, Ubisoft just being like, if you cheat, you're just done. It's like
that's fine. I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, and then they were like, I try to remember exactly what they did that made us so mad, but they were just like going after people essentially.
It was for people using the exploit.
Exploits.
Incursion.
Right, that's what it was.
They considered that a form of cheating, even though
Right, even though it was technically a part of the game and not their fault at all, beyond the fact that they abuse it.
Oh yeah.
So I guess when you talk about cheating, it gets into the discussion of ethics of your gamers. And the ethics of many gamers, clearly, is that they will abuse what they can to get an advantage in the game. It's very obvious in Destiny. They've done that plenty of times where this infinite rocket launcher ammo glitch that happened, everyone was doing it. I remember Modern Warfare 2, I have very vivid memories of some of the exploits in that game because not going to lie, I totally did them. There was a glitch where if you pulled out a Simtex grenade and cooked it, so like you pulled the pin essentially, and then switched to a javelin, if you died, your javelin exploded. So you could take this anti-tank missile and run into a bunker and then die and then just blow everybody up inside.
That's totally evil and cruel, but yet.
But here's the best part.
At the same time.
Oh yeah, it was basically advanced martyrdom. If you don't know, I mean, martyrdom was you drop a live grenade when you die. But in this game, or in this case, once you switched to your javelin or whatever, and then switched back to another weapon, you could still shoot your weapon. Just when you die, you exploded.
Oh my god!
So it was just it was essentially free kills, and it was so dumb.
That's actually really great.
And everybody was doing it. So if it comes to competitive games, and I've noticed this more than anything in the competitive games I've played, it's not a matter of doing your favorite thing to win. It's always a matter of what will give me the most incremental advantage.
Right.
So, for instance, in Super Smash Brothers, um, there are certain characters that you just don't play because they just won't win. And this is true, honestly, in every fighting game. But Smash is one of the ones I have much more experience with, where it's like I enjoy playing the characters. Like there's your ranks like A, B, C, D, like A being better characters, and then there's a special rank called S, which is like the top tier.
Right.
Like S tier. It varies depending on patches and of course some different gameplay because there's so much to them. Uh,
Right.
but like I like characters in the C to B range. Those are the ones I enjoy playing the most. And then if I go up against someone who's good, who is equal skill to me, let's put it this way, who has equal skill as me and then is in an A or an S rank, I'm just gonna lose because there's not much I can do unless I somehow outsmart them. Which either speaks to my skill or my ability to outthink them. Um, but in that case, it's like, why should I play something that's not as good as the best thing? And this applies to Call of Duty too, or Battlefield, where it's just like, yeah, I could play with this gun, but there's also a gun that's just better.
Right. That
So that,
really that applies to any weapon or
yeah,
any game that has any form of weapon like that.
hmm
Halo does it. Destiny's constantly rebalancing their weapons.
yeah, and
Oh,
that's where the trickiness lies in general. But to speak more to the cheating and everything, I think this is what breeds the initial ethics of the gamers. It starts out with stuff like this. It isn't this guy's like, oh, I'm just bad and I want to hack the game. It's like how can we exploit the game in the best way possible to get the most gain? And it
right.
starts because it's like you have the choice of 5 weapons, pick one, and then one of them is clearly the winner, so you always pick that one.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's where it starts. It's just like they breed ethics into these games they don't necessarily mean to by having slightly unbalanced weapons. And asking for perfection is obviously something you can't do, but
Oh yeah.
it's very interesting to me in this sense because it makes the most sense to me that the developers kind of breed this initially, and some people are just unethical in general when it comes to how you play your game. Like, uh, I don't know, some people just really enjoy tormenting others, whether they're sociopaths or they just really enjoy that for some freaking reason and they're fine individuals. Uh, yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say is the ethics are kind of bred into us at the beginning, and then when we find out about ways to better our game through maybe unconventional means, we're not at all hesitant to just jump on the train because we've already been taught by the developers and by the game system to take the incremental gain where you can.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
And there's so much there's so much to that topic. Because
absolutely.
not only does it go for ethics, but what is it with people feeling the need to call out others for cheating?
Yeah, is there some do they see a reward in it in some manner? Like, oh, I'm the guy who's called out this chick for cheating, and she really was, or she wasn't.
Right.
I don't get that either. I mean,
You know,
maybe it's your need to want give justice. I don't know.
a lot of it that I see, just in general, is people trying to forewarn others of the other cheaters. Well, it doesn't. It, in my mind, doing that leads to no good.
it, it, I get what you're saying. And it's not a bad idea to tell somebody gamertag XYZ is cheating. So if you get into a game against them, to either leave or no to report them or something. Uh,
Yeah,
but beyond that, I think I get what you're saying.
yeah. It's hard to say.
It really is because it's a tricky subject because ethics are a tricky subject. There's no true guide to ethics. I had a couple of classes in college that were about it, and it's not the most straightforward thing because it's pure judgment, but with a somewhat laid out line of or somewhat laid out outline of what's good and what's bad.
Yeah,
Uh, so hope you've got something to contemplate now when you think about cheating.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think it all lies in the hands of the developers how they respond to these things.
That's a
Uh,
huge
yeah,
thing
and
because
the clear difference is I think the best comparison is Ubisoft versus Bungie, how they handle it.
right. Um, One big thing that was going around a couple weeks ago was um, Overwatch posted, that on their their support forums, the customer support forums, that they were, you know, going to be issuing bans for cheating and that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And on their Chinese forums version of their support forums, some names got out of who they actually banned. So
Yeah. So I say we leave it there because this will be continued in our next article.
Will it now?
Starting off with that topic right there.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect. We just like cliffhanger it and let people read from here on out.
I actually really agree with that.
I think that's a good structure to our podcast now. Hey, everybody, we just invented something new. We're going to cliffhanger all our podcasts for the next article.
He's going to pull season 6 ending of Walking Dead.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Oh, the season finale of Game of Thrones is tonight. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. Woo! Woo!
Wait, that's not how that works.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Well, okay.
You're supposed to watch the season finale when it airs.
I don't have HBO Go. My buddy does, and that's where I go to watch it. He's just not free on Sundays.
Right. Well, that's
what am I supposed to do?
You're breaking TV etiquette, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, but still, I record everything that I watch that's on regular cable TV and I watch on Netflix. So, what are you gonna do? Well, come at me, bro. I'm lifting my hands up. I know you can't see it. Yeah, let's go. Wait, they get better than me?
God.
All right. Okay, guys. So we're gonna cut this off here. It's gonna be a little under 45. We're gonna be around 40 minutes, but still, very good. Very good.
Makes up for our hour and a half episode last week. So.
I mean, that was forgivable. It was E3, and there was a lot to talk about, and we had to have a lot of laughs. So.
Yes. Which
anyways,
I cannot express. If you have yet to see it, you need to watch the video.
It is easily one of our best.
That was amazing.
It was really fun. So, all right. I say we wrap it up here with some quote-unquote advertising, or in other words, promotion of ourselves. Obviously, if you're listening to us, you know how to find us on iTunes. But either way, let's start off like normal. I am at FranticJ3 on Twitter. He is at wrong side. He is at Onyx Spartan, ONYX Spartan, all one word. You can find us there. You can follow us, join in the conversations that we have with either each other or with anonymous people about random things that relate to gaming. I also tweet about other random things. My bio actually says I tweet about magic, politics, and gaming, and they mesh well. They don't. That's like deterring you from listening to me or tweeting at me. Anyways, if you want just strictly Frantic Talks, you can follow at Frantic_Talks on Twitter. That's where we'll tweet about these podcasts, my other podcast series, which is me driving to work and talking about Magic the Gathering, and also articles. What?
Your podcast. The other one. What's it called? Come on.
It's called Frantic Works.
There you go.
I'm waiting for someone to mention the pun I have in that. I started up a pun right at the very beginning. I only told one other person about it, which was Luke, who writes on the Magic.Frantic Talk site. There's a really funny pun that's just so subtle, and I glaze over it every time because I don't want to be one of those guys who says a pun and then just goes like, "Huh? Do you get it? Do you get it?"
Oh my God! Please don't.
I just go over it. Some of the YouTube guys I follow make a pun and then they just kind of laugh about it and then like draw it out, and it's just like, this isn't funny.
No,
you could have just glazed right over that and just
don't do it.
Allowed us to appreciate it if we caught it.
Yeah.
Pun etiquette 101: don't linger on a pun too long.
Pun, then move on.
Pun and move on, yes. You can pause for a moment. You get a laugh, go ahead. If not, move on. Anyways, back to advertising / promoting. FranticTalks.com, that's where we write all our articles and post our podcasts, although it's really just been podcasts for like the past 4 months. That's changing. I have an article in the works for Magic, and of course, like I said, and like we said, the next part of this podcast essentially is going to be an article talking about Overwatch and how they posted names of people on their Chinese site.
I actually wrote the transcript down, so.
If you enjoy Magic the Gathering, magic.frantictalks.com is where you can find out about fun Magic the Gathering stuff. And then we have a YouTube account where all these videos get posted. Doesn't have a URL, unfortunately, but you can search Frantic Talks and you'll find it easily on YouTube. 100 subscribers and we can give you a URL. So if you're tired of me saying it doesn't have a URL, it's all in your hands, guys. And there's one. Oh, Facebook. Facebook.com/Frantic Talks, all one word. That's where we also post basically the same stuff we post on our Twitter account, just in more than 40 characters typically. Not 40 characters, 140 characters. What am I saying?
Oh, man.
Almost. It was really close. I think that's everything. Did I miss anything? iTunes. Just search Frantic Talks. We're the only one. And if you're listening on iTunes, hey, you found us. Good job. Congratulations.
There you go.
Clapping for you.
Applause.
Okay, I think that's just about everything. Did I forget anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, that works. All right, we're at about 40 minutes. Almost on the dot. Missed it by a couple seconds. Either way. Oh, I did forget something. You suck, Grunt. You forgot about this. Twitch.tv/frantic Frantic J3 the third THE the number 3 RD for those of you that don't know. It's all one word.
And why is it the third?
It is the third because some asshole took Frantic J3.
There
I
you
usually say bastard, but I'm more upset about it.
You're getting more and more upset about it as each week goes on, I think.
Well, you keep reminding me every week.
Except for this week.
You didn't this week, but maybe that's what pushed me over the edge. You didn't remember to remind me. There's only so much anger I can have. Live every Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, except for last week and this week because of reasons. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll let you know if we're changing the schedule. We typically at least tell you. We tell you typically not 5 minutes before it's changed, but we're only two guys. There's only so much we can do.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you all listening. Join in on the conversation. Hit us up on Twitter. Love to hear your thoughts. Ethics is a touchy subject, but it is a very good discussion to have, especially in regards to cheating in video games, like we tend to talk about. Not the cheating part, just games. But
Ethics in gaming.
yeah, ethics in gaming. That's an 18-part series waiting to happen.
It is. I'll get my pen and paper ready and start writing the transcript for some of the other halves of them.
I only have so many sticky notes.
I've got notebooks galore around here.
Well, we also have Word documents on computers that have infinite space, but hey, let's go barbaric on this and kill some trees. All right, guys.
Why not?
That's where we're going to end it. Kill some trees. Don't do that, please.
Unless you're playing Minecraft, then you kind of have to.
Yeah, if you're playing, it's okay on Minecraft. All right, we're going to stop rambling. All right. Catch us next week. Hit us up on Twitter, whatever you want to do. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. I'm Frantic.
I'm Grunt.
We'll see you next time.